Okay, I just need to do a bit of housekeeping before we get started. The name of this channel is InTheory. Gospel Music Theory is a series that runs on this channel. Sorry for the confusion. There are other series that may be in the works and that are in the planning phase. For example, Game Music Theory, which is about video game music, things like that. These would be in addition to the regular InTheory tutorials. Also, there is a Patreon campaign that I will speak on in a separate video, but for now, let's get started. Modes. First things first, what is a mode? Put simply, a mode is a scale. That's it. Yeah, I said it was simple, but let me unpack that statement a bit, just in case there's anyone confused or throwing things at the screen. There are two ways of thinking about modes. First, they are variations of a parent scale starting on a specific scale degree, or two, they're unique scales that stand on their own. I find that the second method is the most useful in practical scenarios, but the first is more useful when first dealing with them. So now, basic principles. The names of modes come from Greek cultural groups or locations. For example, the Phrygian mode comes from the word Phrygia, which was a kingdom in west central part of Anatolia, in a country that we now know as Turkey. Turkey. Delicious turkey. Anyway, using the first method, we'll start with the major scale. We'll be in the key of C in this case. Major scales are called Ionian modes. They practically mean the same thing, although you can make distinctions between the two that I'm not going to make here, no time. The Ionian mode on the piano is made by playing the C major scale, or all the white keys, starting on C and ending on the next C. C to C, or C Ionian. This is the method we'll use initially. This is also a good time to point out the naming conventions of scales/modes. You start with the first note of the scale, and then you add the quality of the scale. For example, A minor. The first note of the A is the letter given to the first note of the scale, and the quality of the scale is minor. So that's how you name scales and modes. Now, the first mode is C Ionian. The second mode is Dorian, D to D, from D to D. D Dorian. The third mode is Phrygian, from E to E. Not too far. E to E. E, Phrygian. Fourth mode, F to F, F Lydian. That's the Lydian mode. Next is G, Mixolydian. G to G. A to A is Aeolian, which is the same as A natural minor. That's a shortcut. B to B. Which is named Locrian, from the region known as Locris. B Locrian, B to B. Then back to C is Ionian. Now, this method is good, but it's kind of hard to remember everything, especially since we went kind of fast. So, this is a way that you can remember it. You can remember the order by saying, I don't play like my aunt looks. It's rude, but it works. I for Ionian, D, don't for Dorian, play for Phrygian, like for Lydian, my for Mixolydian, aunt for Aeolian, and looks for Locrian. Now you can memorize these, but in the end you would have just learned the modes from one scale, one key. If you're going to actually use these, here's the second method. We're going to go through these, changing one thing at a time. The second method is, remember, each scale being their own thing. So, starting with the first one we're going to start with is Lydian. The Lydian mode is the same thing as the major scale, except for instead of playing 4, you play sharp 4. There's a sharp 4. Now we change one thing. Instead of playing sharp 4, we play natural 4, and we end up with the Ionian mode, or the major scale. Next we change one thing, we lower the 7th, and we end up with the Mixolydian mode. Next, which is, well, not next, but it's the same thing as a major scale, only we have a flat 7. Next is Dorian. Same thing as a major scale, except for it has flat 3 and flat 7. Next is Aeolian. Same as the major scale, except for it has flat 3, 6, and 7. Next mode, Phrygian. This is same as the major scale, except for it has flat 2, 3, 6, and 7. Flat 2, 3, 6, and 7 for the Phrygian mode. The last mode, well, not the last mode, there's several other modes, but for the major scale, the 7th mode is Locrian. This has flat 2, 3, 5, 6, and 7. So that is a primer on modes to get you ready for learning what to do with them. I thank you for watching the video. Please like, share, and subscribe. And if you're willing, please support me on my Patreon page. And I'll see you next time.